All right. Hello. 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 Hello indeed. Okay. Let me just do the mandatory audio check at the very beginning of the stream. All right. Microphone's working. Video's working. This is splendid. We are just gonna jump right back into this drawing and talk about some nonsense while I do so. You know? It's I've not touched this, I think, since last week. Yeah, no, I don't think I've touched it. So maybe there's gonna be a bit of a fresh eye effect, I'm hoping, where I immediately see that something is wrong and want to correct it, like this, for example. Very clearly wrong. I didn't see it before, but now I see it. It should be something like this. That's better. And then this shoulder shouldn't be dislocated, presumably. Presumably, want to give this guy a good shoulder. No, this shoulder is now too relaxed, and as we know, you should never relax. So, always be on the 24/7 grind. This is completely wrong. You know what? As the thing, I have more autistic activities to partake in, but this one in particular is something that I'm hoping people can enjoy. It's like, I don't really know. Do people even like this? Do people even like watching stuff like this? It's like, I don't know. There's a man just rambling about absolute nonsense while doing the same thing over and over again, and it's also not a 30-second clip with Subway Surfers gameplay. So, like, frankly, I don't know. I think there's basically no point, surely. Like, how could this possibly be entertaining? I think I'm doing everything wrong, basically. There's no future for this. This is wrong format. Should have gone about it completely differently. I'm thinking... I'm not sure what I'm thinking about this, actually. Definitely gonna remove that stuff, because it doesn't help me see properly. What's up with this leg? That's a very far... this knee is really weird now that I see it again. Okay. How's this? This hand is, I think, too relaxed. It's like he's too chill with it, perhaps? Maybe the angle's wrong? Not sure. Something's wrong with this arm, anyway. I'm not exactly able to understand what. I'm hoping over time I figure it out. And that it's not gonna take like 12 years to do so. We'll see. What's this guy like? Let's remove this, because this is just an obstruction for now to like understanding this head shape, and I think I still haven't gotten it correct. I'm thinking something like this for the shoulders is right, and then this is the neck. That goes like this, and he's also got the head is too big. So we're gonna just completely remove the hair. We're gonna make him a cancer patient, but don't worry about it, it's for a good cause. Should I have probably done it on another layer? Maybe. Could I do it on another layer? Absolutely. Will I do it on another layer? No. I don't like that previous iteration anyway. I think I see what the problem is. So now, even now, I think I'm making his head too big on the... I mean, they've had characters with large foreheads, you know. That has happened in the history of the franchise. A large forehead has existed. Maybe even more than once. That's more reasonable, I think. And then the question is, where are the ears attached? And why is the head still so large? Look at that. Okay, remove all of this. and just make sure the head shape makes any kind of sense. do I do it flat like this? This is entirely... We could probably go with... Because it is something like this. Like, they don't have a human head shape. They have, like, this egg kind of thingy going on. Right? At least that's what I gather. I've never played the game. I have mentioned before. That's alright though. Out of all the things I could be doing for someone who hasn't been playing the game, I could be doing worse things, I think. Maybe. Don't know about it, but look at that. Now we assume I'm thinking we do his face like this and we attach the ear to like this place basically. So this leads us to having something like this, and then the hair be like that. I'm thinking something like this makes more sense than what I had previously, and it allows me to, let's say, use a different kind of thing. I should have kept the other layer, honestly. We can have it be like this, which is a bit more... Oh, the Inklings actually have it, their hair, because they usually have it in front of the ear, not behind. So I'm thinking something like this, and then you add the glasses, you know, on top. Connect them there. And then add a face. That's a very thick mouth, but we'll manage. Yeah, I'm thinking something like this, except we completely throw out this iteration and start over. That's right, another one. You'll never guess what's after this one. I really do. Whoa. I really do wonder if this will ever stop. Like, surely at some point I'll get an iteration which I'm happy with. That hasn't happened yet. Like, I've been partially happy with some of them. I've been more happy with the more recent ones than I've been with the previous ones, but I've not yet reached a stage with this where I would say, yeah, this is good. It's like, you know what? Let's try a bit of a different technique. I'm gonna drop the opacity of my brush to like 30%, and I'm gonna try figuring out like a bit rougher kind of thingy, like a rougher sketch of what it is I want to capture, and then I'll figure out, maybe that way I don't know, maybe it gives me a bit of a different look at it, like a different understanding. I'm gonna erase stuff from time to time because there's a bloody mess of things. So around 30 is gonna be the opacity for the brush for the most part, and then I just, you know, this should probably end like here, and not all the way there. There's the glasses. You see that? There's the like hair. Okay, now the question, there's a question of how exactly is this arm structured. I'm thinking actually something like this might be a better choice. Right? Because the reason why I'm going for something like this is I want the pose to be better. That's it. I don't really exactly have a clear, like, conscious idea in my mind exactly why that's gonna be better, but I'm fairly certain it is. I'm not really even sure why, but like something like this, right? You get his shirt. You get it. They have like very thin legs. I gotta remember that because that's kind of not shown in this. But they have like this kind of thin leg and then a very big foot. I'm thinking something like this actually maybe captures it a little bit better. Like, look, this guy clearly needs this hand to be positioned differently. Because his entire hand should be more like this, and then the fingers should be like this. That's kind of the idea of the hand position. It's like he's holding it like that, and then this finger is actually pointed alongside the gun, in the same direction as the gun. And then this is the like main through line of the gun, with the mag sticking out here. For like bonus points, there's like this attachment, this attachment. It's something like this, and I think the current sketch has gotten the proportions a lot better than the previous ones. And then this leg is probably too long and too weird. What it should be is it should be pointing a bit towards the back, so it should be occluded by the front leg, and then also be like this, perhaps? I'm thinking something like this, and then probably we go, you know, we continue on from here, because this is already a lot more stylized than I think it was before, and it looks better. It's, you know what? Okay, let's save it. Let's try and iterate on this a little bit. So, okay, we'll give him the shorts back. So the shorts kind of end somewhere in here, right? That's the whole idea. Give him a bit of a butt because people have those actually. You know, the slightly elongated shirt I think is gonna help mark where the sleeve is gonna be rolled up to. I think this shoulder is pretty much exactly what it should be at the moment. I think the other one is very relaxed compared to what it should be, because it should be more forward, and that as a consequence should also rotate the entire part of his body slightly forward. So it should be like this, and then his shoulder should be like forwards, and then he should be holding the gun like this. And now the shirt here doesn't really make sense, I don't think. Could make him look like this way, for example. That could be interesting. Like, you know, just something like this, you know. Could maybe expand this tank a lot more. Because this is supposed to be like a pipe leading from the tank into there. And then maybe something... I don't know. I don't know about that, but I already like this more than what I had. The idea is like, let's get this arrow on the thing here. That's the start of the gun. Right, something like this. And that kinda... This hand is bad, actually, because the hand is currently, the way I currently am doing it, is kinda in the entirely wrong direction related to what it should be. Because, I'm not sure. I feel like I'm working the gun. I think I'm working with like two different ideas simultaneously, and they are not compatible really. And that's, I think, where the issues are coming from. Anyway, this is how his body is shaped, at least I think should be. And you know, we probably have to fix it up a bunch. Because, like, which direction is the gun? The gun is in this direction, but how is this in relation to his body, right? It's like his body is... I think the gun needs to be slightly tilted in this direction for it to actually work like this with the pose. And that might actually be one of the biggest culprits behind why this looks somewhat wrong, is that there's an incongruency, to use a very complicated word. There's a mismatch between how the gun is drawn and how the rest of the thing is drawn. And hopefully if that's resolved, right, if the gun's pointed in the correct direction, hopefully we resolve the other issues as well. Especially the main issue of this whole thing looks wrong for some reason. I don't really know why. It's like you would think, it's like, hey, you are the guy with the pen. You should know how to do things. Well, I'll let you know in a little secret. I'm making it up as I go along. So, you know, prepare accordingly, I suppose. Okay, I'm thinking this is an improvement, and we can continue on from. I mean, holy moly, this looks bad, but that's because I replaced the head. Okay, let's try another one. Okay, we make this smaller. We increase the opacity a little bit, but make the size a little bit. Okay, let's try build some defining lines for this guy from these. So that's gonna be kind of the curve. There's glasses. Glasses are gonna be like this. Right, we can decide these things from what's currently been drawn on the screen. You know. Okay, so now we overlay this on top of that. Probably do a little bit of a sharp angle on this. Presumably, actually no. No. This should have some thickness to it, right? So we kind of hint at the thickness with that. It's like we hint at this being 3D. Presumably that gets removed from the lines later, and we actually replace it with a color hint, a different, like a shading thing, but for now that's gonna do. Okay, we fill this in. That don't make him sad. There you go, that hint of a smile in that. There's gonna be fixes needed for this, of course, but I'm thinking I'm defining the like most important lines currently for this. That's basically like, well, what does it look like? Well, it's in these lines actually define what the shape of this guy is. That's what I'm kind of thinking when I'm trying to draw these. Are they final? Probably not, considering how many iterations I've already gone through. But it'd be hard to call it final at this stage, but I am trying to define what I actually want, and it's not going well. It's an exploration, you know. We are finding out as we go along, and then we can at the end pretend it all had a deep meaning all along. Okay, this would be the pipe connecting to the tank. Then it's like, you know, on this is the stop, and then you have the arm, then you have the other shoulder basically being a bit forward like this, and now we have the elbow. Something like this, right? Because his arm is sticking out a bit forward. That's not a good one, but something like this, and then his arm goes like this. And it's like the elbow somewhere over there. And he like has his hand start around there, question mark? I'm not very certain on this, so bear with me, but there's no bears in the image. I kind of messed up. You see, that's... Now, if I was better at this, I would have scripted the stream so that a bear would be relevant to that moment, and then I would have had a great pun. But instead, I completely messed it up. So, if I one day learn to be a competent streamer, you can expect a bear pun to appear at some point, just to, you know, make sure this moment was capitalized on 7 years down the line. We're gonna have the expanded universe lore. This moment will be brought up again. You may be laughing now, but you are not gonna be laughing then. I'm gonna become very unfunny in all those years. Alright. Anyway, trigger guard, get the goddamn mag somewhere around here. This looks like garbage, but actually, does it? Does it? Does it though? I don't feel like it looks too bad, actually. Now the question actually, the real question is not if it looks too bad, is does it look acceptable? Does it look like something I'd actually accept as a finished product? Like, is the pose actually there enough, you know? I'm slightly leaning towards this is getting somewhere. Which is, I know, the least specific statement, but that's all I have is non-specific statements. Because I'm just not sure about it continuously. I mean, I'm thinking this is the best pose yet. This is not very good. This hand, this arm, needs a rework. And this front of the gun is also at the wrong angle. So what we are gonna do is we're gonna just erase all of this. And then try once again, but this time less stupid. Is that possible? You might ask. I do not know. That is what we are finding out live on stream today. Give me something like 30%. Alright. What's going on over here? Pardon, I get entirely distracted by another window. Okay, I'm back. My brain's back. My back's back. My back's front is left. Baba is you. Something like that. You'll figure it out, right? Okay, now hear me out. What if the base of the gun wasn't stupid and I actually thought about it? Like, look, something like this, right? And you get something like that. Now this is looking bad, I think. The point is, what the hell is this in 3D? And the answer is, well, the author clearly didn't know. But because I am the author, I can actually change that. So I can decide which direction in 3D is this gun pointing to. And I'm thinking with a setup like this, it almost makes sense to make it almost parallel to the camera. I mean perpendicular, depending on how you define parallel or perpendicular to the camera. But point being, probably want to have it face, yeah, mostly be viewed from the side, because it's viewed, the characters kind of going to the side, but in 3D. I know that's not the best explanation I've ever given for anything, really, but hear me out. The characters kind of going forward, so the gun should be too. And because the characters rotated slightly, the gun is also going to be rotated. Okay, it's something like this, and then we delete this, we replace it with the weird little holder thingy. Probably attach it something like this, maybe, perhaps. Okay, now we make sure the knuckles are somewhere in there, and then we connect this with the knuckles, because this is the end of the fingers, and we have to remember the fingers exist in 3D space as well. Now, does this look good? No. I have a very clear understanding of this not being good. Is it a step in the right direction? I don't know. Am I going insane? That's a definite yes. You won the quiz. Oh wait, no. I can't hum that because I'll get dinged for copyright. Surely. Is it like this? Is it like that? Because this hand's definitely wrong. Like, this hand needs to be placed on the gun differently, and I have a sneaking suspicion a lot of how I place this hand actually has a lot of influence on understanding the pose of this guy. I'm actually also kind of thinking this should be somewhere like this, maybe. Yeah, I'm thinking that's better. And then we have the hand kind of underneath here. Which side of the hand do we see? Do we see it like this? Is that the idea? Surely not, because he's now holding it weird. I'm thinking something along these lines. No, but that's the thing. I'm drawing like the entire finger going up, and it shouldn't be. It should be more like this. Because he's holding it very differently. Right? My lack of knowledge is showing. I'm thinking it's basically something like this. Like, you don't stick these out too far. So these are ends of fingers. And the big part of the hand is somewhere over there holding the gun. And then the thumb is alongside the barrel, I suppose. I need to remove this nozzle because that's gonna be weird. I'm gonna move it. Actually, that is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab it, I'm gonna move it a little bit, and I'm gonna edit the rest so it makes a little bit more sense. Okay, now this we do. Okay. This is, I would say, a big improvement over what it was. Which is all I'm really looking for, is just I want to improve the previous step. That's basically the process I'm engaging in. Look, we add. We could make we could make a girl out of this probably, but I've not really. The body type isn't quite girl. I don't think. At least that's not what I'm going for. Have I succeeded? We'll find out, I suppose. Right. Have these little additional details, perhaps? They have those on the hair. Add back the little microphone thingy. Surely, right? This looks weird. Presumably you want something like that. That's closer to how a shirt would actually lay itself out on someone's leg. Actually, no, it would, because it would be long enough to actually, like, if it would be long enough, it would surely hang a little bit like this, right? No, this is wrong. Now, listen, I realize this is not very exciting commentary I'm providing. I am basically just literally telling you what I'm doing on screen. Or maybe not even that. But in any case, it's my stream and I get to choose the autism. And the current autism is... I don't even know what the current autism is. I know I'm rapidly becoming very sleepy though. Probably a problem. Should take care of that at some point. Okay, I'm thinking this is more Splatoon-y than it was. In terms of how it looks. Like these are the glasses, right? You get the glasses. Probably don't give Inklings beards. I've asked one time what it would look like and I didn't get a satisfactory answer because there's like one old geriatric in the game and everybody just pivoted to him and nobody actually responded. So I will never know what squids look like with beards unless I guess just make it up myself. The moral of the story is you should disregard everybody and just do your own thing. Which is not the worst message depending on how you take it. Which is, I suppose, how it goes with a lot of messages. It really depends on what the hell do you actually mean by it. Because it turns out, it's like, you know, no matter how nice your intentions are when you've made a thing, the language you've used can be, you know, the meaning of it is dependent on the language and the language of the medium you've chosen. And so if somebody is coming along with as a bad actor and wants to corrupt your message, well, they could either, you know, hijack in some way what you've created, or they could very insidiously manipulate the language we all use so that the words you've used to describe thing A now mean the precise opposite of thing A. It's a pretty common strat, and it's also disgustingly effective, it seems like, in the world in general. This was better when it was slightly up. It was better because that hand needs to be turned around a little tiny bit. That's the watch. Something like this for the... Because this is a tool that it makes it look wrong when it's not gotten right. It's kind of trivial, but This is like this sticks. The shape of this like really guides your eye to what is wrong. So getting it right has a bigger effect than getting anything else right. Like it is a high value target, let's say, and I wanna have it be pretty good. Okay, so have additional. Yeah, something like this so it works. I'm thinking this is definitely the best iteration so far. It's gotta be. Get some speed lines, you know. That adds a lot. Okay, okay, we are getting somewhere with this, I'm thinking. Look at that. I would say noticeable improvement. And I'm thinking we give this another go, and this time we crank the opacity up all the way to what I usually use, which is no transparency at all. And try and square this nicely into actual lines. Kind of going back. Okay. You know, get the headset. We can always change it later, right? That's kind of the philosophy I have behind this. It's like, you can always change it later. It's like, worst case scenario is gonna cost some time, but that's not a big deal. I have time. And the nice thing about doing this digitally is I can always, you know, I always have access to everything, and because there's no physical thing, I can't screw it up beyond all fixing, where you just have to throw it out and start again. I get to retry and redo it any amount of times, any number of times I'm doing. So there's like no excuse. If something digital doesn't come out right, it's like basically, you know, you've basically just didn't have the time, or didn't make the time, whether you could or not. You didn't spend the time on making this as good as it can be. And there's no physical factors limiting it for that from you, right? You don't usually have the gear, you have everything you could ask for, you have. It's just a matter of, well, given all of that, can you do it or can you not? I kind of like this goofy face, although this needs a little bit of a fix. It's a pretty goofy face, but I love it. Okay, do something like this. Mm-hmm. Okay. Ooh, my my local wind station is starting up. That's a bit loud. Sorry, I've actually been kind of focusing on this, because I feel like this could be the end of my torment in a way. Release me from this purgatory at once, Karen. Like, in all seriousness though, I'm trying to basically get this to look decent, and I'm thinking this is a promising iteration. That's how I'm gonna phrase it, because I don't yet know what's gonna come of it. I don't really know like how it's gonna end up. What I do know is that there is a possibility this works out. There's a lot of nuance to finger shapes that clearly matters a lot to how the viewer is gonna perceive it, but I'm not quite at the level where that. Will I analyze and pay attention to that really a whole lot? If there's one takeaway from this, I'm definitely struggling way too much with something that's pretty basic, but on the other hand, like, that's how you get better. Like, I don't really see any better way to go about it. You just have to, do it a bunch of times. You will suck at it. You'll suck at it. You'll suck at it until hopefully one day you won't suck at it anymore. That day you can say, I am no longer sucking. We need to rename the shop to Sneeze. Okay. Let's try the gun. And I do want to get this done and get the hell out of here because I'm sleepy. I've been slightly undersleeping last couple nights, so I'd like to not be a poopy head with regard to that. But if you look at that, we place one of those. Like a grip for this. Presumably, we make use of these two to like. This is kind of an AK, but not really. Is the kind of thing I'm going for. It's like kind of an AK. It reminds you of an AK, but isn't an AK. That's basically what the reasoning behind the shapes is basically that. It's like I want something that is similar to an AK, but isn't one. Okay, like this. I'm thinking then we attach. Oh, actually, because the finger is not on the trigger, he can be holding it slightly in front of the mag. Yeah. Look, we take it out of there, lead it into the back of the gun. Use some smooth curves to make it all nice and round. And we do it like this. Now, is it good? The most important question that I keep asking myself. Is it good? I do not know. I know this eye looks weird. I didn't want to add that line at all. Shocking reveal. I don't like the mouth. I'm gonna... Something... Let's make him mad for now. That's fine. Can be mad. What if I did that? Does this get any better if I do it? Is this better? Because I'm slightly thinking it might be. Look, there's the thin legs. Gotta come in at some point. You know it. I'm thinking, yeah. Yeah. Boom. Boom. I mean, maybe. 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 It's a big maybe on this one. I think if nothing else, this is a better iteration than what I started with, which is... Where is it? It's like... I'm thinking we straighten his right leg out, or maybe even not. Maybe we don't even do that. The hair probably needs to be moved like this, in this direction. The hand is once again bad. It should be a lot more grounded with regard to how the rest of it is. It should be something like this, probably, presumably. No. Something like this. It's not at all correct. Doesn't work at all. Okay. Okay, once again. Don't get too excited. This probably all goes in the trash. This is a note to myself, primarily. Uh, 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 uh. You see, it looks bad. Doesn't look extremely bad though. I think this looks a lot more like a Splatoon character now. That I've gone through all of these iterations. I think maybe we do something like this. I still don't have the shoulder figured out, I'll be honest. I think maybe the bump on it is important. It's important for it to have this like bump and then distinct, definitive slump down before it joins us back up with the rest of the body. Like this looks kind of bad. Or maybe even very bad. Huh? Maybe. Maybe. Maybe there's something to it. Maybe. Maybe. It's a big maybe. Continuous big maybe. How long has this been going on for? It's almost an hour. I'm thinking this is a perfect place to end it here because I'm getting very, very tired. And I should presumably go to sleep. Although this is not looking too bad, I don't think. Like we do. Presumably fix that in this way. Yeah, no. Okay, I'm thinking this is an improvement. I think it's an upgrade to what it was before, which looks pretty bad. As better proportions, this leg is still iffy to me. But I think now the body is better. There's still something up with the shoulders. I'm not convinced. I'll need to. Oh, sorry, I am this tired. The shoulders are wrong. Continuously the shoulders are wrong, and I can't quite figure out why. What exactly it is about the shoulders that is throwing me off. Can you please register my press? Thank you. It's maybe how it like interacts with, like it should be a little bit forward and ahead and it isn't, and maybe that's what looks so weird. So like it should be in front and then that be hidden behind it, but it looks weird if you do so. But maybe what you do is like you route the collar around the shoulder kind of like this. I don't know, this is very small all of a sudden. Not sure about it. Thinking this line's now a bit of a problem. I don't know. Okay, I'm thinking of leaving this here. I'm gonna throw the grid sticker on it. So it's tiny. I need to fix it. Okay, fine. One last little change. Get me those from a slightly more horizontal view. I don't know. Well, shoes, I don't know. I've been wearing the same shoes for years now. Like the same model. I know nothing about them. Alright. Cheers. Oh, let's finish the stream before I fall asleep. Alright. I'm thinking this is a decisive improvement over the previous one. And I'm actually feeling like this is getting somewhere. Like a state that is actually finishable and is going to look kind of decent territory. That's the kind of way I see it. I'm thinking a bit more. I'm getting a hope this is actually gonna look like something that's remotely good. I didn't start the timer, by the way, so this was all happened in an instant. You witnessed nothing. Anyway, if you, for some reason, are watching a VOD of this, please send a pineapple emoji in the comments section to let me know, I guess. Or don't. I'm not your dad. Anyways, thank you very much for showing up. And good night. Bye. Day.